Welcome to Week 2 Mini Lecture 1 on Posture, Gait, and Functional Adaptations to Rehabilitation. In this series of lectures for this week, we are looking at chapters 6 through 8 within the Rehabilitation of Musculoskeletal Injuries, which is your required textbook for this course. A number of objectives have been outlined for chapter 6, and so chapter 6 is primarily focused on posture, and that is where we will begin our lectures. So very basically, posture is defined as a balanced static alignment of the body segments and really is to minimize any sort of stress placed on the various body segments. It can be assessed most commonly during standing or while seated. Here in this particular diagram, you can see that standing alignment is typically assessed in 3 planes: anterior, posterior, and lateral. So anterior in the bottom left, posterior in the bottom right, and the lateral view or the sagittal is in the top left. And alignment of each body segment can be assessed using a plumb line. I do want to spend some more time though speaking to alignment while seated, as many of us, whether you're a student or whether you're in the workforce, will spend much of your day in a seated position. Incorrect sitting postures can really aggravate injuries and can be associated with very poor posture, making an individual susceptible to injuries as well. And much of what is considered is if we look at the chair height and the chair depth, and if arms on the chair are present, how your own arms are rested on the chair as well. So let's take a look first at the chair seat height. And so this really should allow an individual's feet to rest comfortably on the floor with the knees and the hips at least at 90 degrees. And what you can see from this image is that the knees should be at least at the same height as the hips or even slightly higher. Next, the chair seat depth should be such that the edge of the seat does not press against the back of the person's knees. And the chair back support should support both the lumbar and thoracic regions. And the chair back height should be high enough to reach the lower area of the scapular border. However, a higher backed chair will provide more thoracic support and enable individuals to lean back comfortably. With respect to the armchair height, the arms on the chair should be at a level that provides for shoulder relaxation and permit forearms to rest comfortably. And what you can see from this image is that the elbows are at least a 90-degree angle. With individuals able to lean back comfortably, there should be little or no pressure on the scapula. Lastly, if an individual is using a computer keyboard, as demonstrated in the diagram on the top right, the forearms should be at 90 degrees or slightly less, and the wrist should be in a neutral position with the fingers resting on the keyboard. This is imperative for injury prevention and also reducing any sort of aggravation of any pre-existing injuries. Now, if we look at the spinal alignment, you can see the various regions of the spine. So your cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and sacral vertebrae from superior to inferior, and the natural curvatures that are present. And so these various curvatures, which are measured in degrees, are important as they minimize stress on any one segment. And so this, in fact, is considered a neutral spine position. Good posture such as demonstrated here, will allow our bodies to be very efficient and effective. Bad posture, as I've mentioned, though, can place additional stress on the various body segments and impact performance as well. Bad postural habits can develop and cause a shortening of some structures and a lengthening of opposing structures, which can lead to weakness and impairments in one's efficiency of movement, placing further stress on the body and can result in pain or injury. Therefore, it is important not to only look at a neutral spine posture and normal alignment, but also to understand common pathological postures as well, as this may be important in therapeutic exercise programs to correct our bad habits.